Yummy. A tasty Reddit sandwich.
r/AskReddit. What is a fact that can possibly save your life? Maybe not your life but possibly others. In an emergency situation, pick one person to specifically call 911. In lots of stressful or emergency situations there are significant delays in calling 911. Some people assume that others will call 911 while others panic/freeze up and don't think to call 911. If you're faced with a situation where 911 is necessary, pick a specific person to call 911. If you get impaled or stabbed, leave the object in and call 911, or your country's equal. That object is keeping all the blood on the inside of your body. If you smell fish in your house, some people also report a urine-like smell, for no reason. 9 times out of 10 it means there's an electrical fire. If you are ever buried in rubble, earthquake, tornado, building collapse, etc., don't shout, you'll lose your voice and waste energy. Instead, grab a piece of the rubble and knock in patterns of 3s. Humans are expert pattern makers and pattern noticers. Rescuers will hear the distinctive pattern sound and go toward it. Once you can hear people, then use your voice. Edit. Cite my source. I learned this from the podcast The Big One. It's about how to realistically survive a massive earthquake day by day with certain scenarios. Do not delay getting out of a burning building. The flames are not what will kill you. The smoke will get very thick and toxic very quickly and you will not be able to see the way to get out. Probably said already, but bad CPR is better than none even if you're unskilled. You literally cannot make the person more dead, as being dead is what predicate CPR. If you have a puncture wound to the chest or abdomen, the first thing you should do is place a non-porous, think plastic bag, object over the wound. It will help prevent tension pneumothorax. A tourniquet is quite simple to put on and can save a life if there is no other option. Place close to the site or near, not on, a joint. Never remove a tourniquet once placed, as clots can travel to the brain and lungs. Also mark the time you put it on. If you're at an accident scene and have no medical training, something you can do is collect information and help calm victims. This is quite helpful as it assists the paramedics with triage and keeps potential injured person's heart rates down. Alternatively, learn how to hold C-spine. If your car ever gets stuck on the train tracks, look for a sign on the crossing arms. This is the railway 911 and has a number to call to stop traffic as well as your exact location. If you've been cut deeply, pack doors into the wound as tightly as possible, then hold pressure. If you are driving in inclement weather, pay attention to truckers. They are often warned ahead of time of wrecks and things due to their radios. Also, never drive in the rain without headlights. If you are buried in an avalanche, you won't be able to tell which way is up. You should spit, gravity will carry the spit down. Dig the opposite way so you can escape. I read somewhere if a stranger gets in your car and tells you to take them somewhere, drive into something like a lamppost or anything. You won't be useful to them anymore because the car is damaged and you've drawn attention to them by crashing the car. You'll damage your car but you'll have your life and your bank account. Someone at my college did this a few years ago. The guy told him to drive to the bank and withdraw all his money, so he drove into a lamppost and saved himself. If you call 911 even though you don't have signal, it will work. If you're visiting an unfamiliar location like a cinema or concert hall, take a few moments to look around for the nearest exit. Then pick out a second as a backup in case the first becomes blocked or cut off. If something happens, especially in a crowded public place, most people's first instincts are to turn around and head for the main entrance, but this is not always the closest, safest or easiest way out. 9 times out of 10 there will usually be a closer exit. This one's pretty obvious, but if someone's grabbing you, it's usually easy to break the hold by grabbing their thumb. Can't hold SHT so well without your thumb. I'm glad I haven't had the opportunity to use this next one, but I've been taught that if someone is trying to assault you or kidnap you, and you manage to get him on the ground, prop his leg up on something, kneecap facing upward, and jump on that goddamn knee. Can't chase or kidnap you if he can't walk. Edit to add, the thumb thing I've found great when trying to break a hold without doing damage. Lots of people have been talking about pinkies instead when you're fine with damage, which is great advice. Also, don't do the second one if you can help it. End edit. If you get kidnapped, try to leave as much traces of yourself behind as you can. For example, leave bits of clothing behind or scratch your arms a lot to leave dead skin behind. This way you increase your chances that a search dog could pick up your scent and find you. If a tornado looks like it isn't moving, it's heading right towards you. Okay, so if you encounter a wild bear, try to look as big as possible. Stand on the tips of your feet, raise your hands high up and look the bear straight into the eyes. Then start talking in a really deep voice, like really Darth Vader-like. So deep, that nobody would even understand what are you saying. The bear will look at you for a while, probably do some noises, in this case do not scream. You will scare the bear this way and he might attack, but eventually the bear will leave. This is the only thing that works on bears. You cannot outrun them because they can run for much longer than you, and unlike boars, they are very good tree climbers, so don't try escaping on a tree. This doesn't work with grizzlies and polar bears though. Only with black bears and some brown ones. Maybe not your life, but someone else's. Most drowning is silent. The victim quite literally cannot speak to call for help, as they are too desperately trying to get any air at all. Drowning can look simply like a person bobbing in the water until they no longer come back up. Keep a watch out, especially if it's kids. If you get caught in a current, don't swim towards the shore and instead swim parallel to it. Edit. People seem to be confused, but I should clarify that you swim parallel to the shore. If you have an iPhone, pressing the lock screen button 5 times rapidly will initiate a call to emergency services. Handy for if you don't want to show you have a phone by removing it from your pocket. It will dial automatically. All firearms are loaded, even if they are not, they are.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, hit the bell if you enjoy our videos and want to see them as soon as they come out. Have a good day, you beautiful ducker.